Welcome back to another device disassembly video where we've got not one, but two TiVo DVRs. Now you've seen both of these in another recent video called Real-Time TiVo DVR Boot Battle Series 2 versus Series 3D, where we can confirm that this one beats it in terms of if you play the boot video, but this one, if you skip the video due to its quick response. Although that one can still be disputed. I'm waiting for comments for that. But anyways, it's about time to have a look at what's in between these two. So yeah, let's go ahead and open these up. So starting off with the Series 2, let's take a look at it first. You can see there's a TiVo logo missing there, but there is a light inside there. You've also got two different lights here. This one's for green and this one's for, I think, recording as well. And this is probably something for IR. Nothing really special on the sides. Let me cover something up real quick. And here we go. We've got the TiVo thing there. I'm covering the service number here. For obvious reasons. Got a dusty fan back there. Also got different ports here. Phone line. You've got two control out ports, one for serial, one for IR. I don't know what kind of ports these are, but whatever. You've got two USB ports, I think for external mass storage. You've got two sets of composite and audio outputs, one for S-video and one set of composite and audio with an S-video for input as well. And you've got cable antenna, channel 3 and channel 4, one for in and one for out. That's pretty much it for a simple DVR like this. Now if we look on the back, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws holding this in, which can easily be removed with a simple T10 Torx driver. We've got our 5 little screws there, and this plate to just come back out. We can tilt it upwards. We don't necessarily need this. Alright, here are the insides. You've got your motherboard back here, the whole power supply complex over here, and an old IDE hard drive. To take out the hard drive, there are two T10 screws back there again, also removable with the T10. Alright, Seagate certified repaired HDD, amazing, 160 gigabytes. It doesn't say what the speed of it is, but this thing is quiet. In the previous video, when I powered this up for the first time, I was leaning down to have a listen for any hard drive activity. I did not hear anything out of this. This is one quiet hard drive. And it is IDE. I don't really understand these pins here, but they have to deal with the setting for the drive, like if it's a master drive or if it's a slave drive. I don't know, IDE is confusing. I did not grow up in a world of IDE. I'm more of a SATA and NVMe type of person. Oh, this thing is pretty dusty back here. I might have to clean out the dust. Look at that. That is dusty. Yeah, when we take everything out of here, I'll give it a good wipe down. Alright, next up to take the motherboard apart, we've got a take off this screw here. And then we've got two other screws, which we need a T9 to take out. Alright. That's just holding these things and that thing to the back of the DVR. And finally, some more T10 screws back here. Alright, there we go. I did forget to mention that these things right here, and right here, you did have to twist them because they would be purposely twisted like that so that it would be harder to take it out. So you would use something like a pair of like tweezers to align it so that you can easily take it out. We'll see this on the Series 3 HD board, but here we are. I'm pretty sure this is the main chip here. Our IDE connector, some ribbon connector here that was on the board. Back here, I'm pretty sure it was for the lights back here, plus the IR sensor. We got another connector here, I'm pretty sure for power. And I don't think there's any other connector. We have a 2032 cell battery here. We've got the little things right here. Amazing. These things are also kind of dusty. I'll make sure to wipe everything down full of dust so this thing can actually breathe. Next up, for the power supply, more T10 screws to remove. Oh, these things got little plastic things on it. Hold on, let me take these off. That one's soldered on. That one is irrelevant. Take that thing out. Yeah, we got little plastic bits holding this down. Okay, gotcha. Hold up. Twist this. Maybe. If we could just pinch it down. Alright. That's one. Pinch these down. There's another one right here. Alright, that's three. One more here. Maybe. There we go. We've got a little heatsink fan here with screws holding down a couple things. I'm not gonna touch the power supply any further than I have to. Just the back of it. Alright. Yeah, you can see this thing is clearly soldered down. Alright. Probably just let that thing drop down. Yep. Unscrew, unscrew. Yikes. That is disgusting. Okay. I think a can of compressed air will take care of this. Big ol' screws here. We can also clean this out. Alright, last thing I can see here, there's one screw here, another one there to hold this front plate on. Again, also with T10 screws. Alright. unless there's something else I have to do. Oh, I see. There are little plastic things here. Okay. Little plastic stoppers back here. That was easy. Okay. Oh. Dust bunny. Well, that was easy enough. As you can see, here's the board right here. I think also with a T10 we can take this off. Alright. Alright, very simple board. It's just lighting and all that stuff, plus our little IR sensor. Confidential and proprietary. Amazing. Well, I just took it apart. This thing pretty much, I don't think it has any more warranty left on it. Okay, I see. This thing is taped on. So we could take this off, but it's taped on. And I'd rather keep that on here. Alright, quick 0.5 shot. Here's pretty much everything here. Just organize these a little bit. That's pretty much it for a board like that. Alright, time to do a little bit of cleaning. Yeah. There, that looks a lot better. And to think this would have looked worse if we kept on using this over the years. This thing does get cold the more you use it. Hell yeah. Alright, everything has been cleaned, and let's start to get this thing put back together. Oh. That was easy. this thing definitely looks cleaner than it was before. At least the insides were. Alright, on to the Series 3 HD. Now this has a drastic change. First of all, we have a format button, which just changes the output, the display output. We've got some markings here, what it's capable of. HD TV, HDMI, Dolby Digital, and Series 3, and HD right there. This one doesn't light up, but this one is cool. At least we get a TiVo logo compared to the Series 2. Hi there. We go into the back here. We've got the usual fan here. You can already see some dust inside. A little too far in, but yeah. Down here you can see some dust. We've got another phone line there. We've got a component with a regular composite and audio. We've got our S video here. We also have digital audio since this is HD. We also got HDMI, 2 USB ports and Ethernet, and an mSATA port, as well as their cable and antenna in. Now, there is no output for this, so this only takes an input here, and only an output. So that's pretty much the only differences with this unit here. Now on the back, we have a different kind of screw. We've got Phillips head right here, 6 of them compared to the 5 T10 screws here, but we've also got some right there, right here, and these here, so we'll have to take those off to take out the motherboard, but you will need a regular Phillips head screwdriver for this. Let's start over here. Screws, and just like before, this thing comes off like that. Alright, we've got a different bit of a layout. Bigger board, bigger power supply area. Oh, I forgot to show you something. There's a little flap down here. You can fit in 2 cable cards. Multi or single stream cable card for slot 1 here. Single stream cable card only. Important, use slot 1 first. I forgot to show you that, but awesome. I've got another mechanical hard drive, except this uses SATA, and this is a single connector right here. Awesome. Got that right there. Also got our little eSATA connector here. You can take that apart. Fan connector. Boom. Our power supply connector is... This reminds us of regular connectors you'd see on a power supply, like a PC one. Same board connector for the lights and IR sensor, although it could be hidden in this little bar here. Another 2032 battery here. I think that's pretty much for all the cables here. Alright, for this DVR, there is T10 right here and T10 right there. Take those apart. That was easier than said. I think this thing is to help pull it out, although you can just take it like that. Oh, there's a little marking here. TiVo HD backup maybe? I don't know. This one's a Western Digital drive, 160 gigabytes as well. Still doesn't say what the speed is, but this was made in 2007, July 21st. Awesome. And here's your little eSATA connector here, and the screws we're going to take out. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My bad. 7 screws to unscrew. Alright, now taking this out. Uh-oh, this is going to be a little bit difficult. Oh wait, hold on. These things also need to be untightened. Oh, there's also that. T9. Oh, let me dump the screws out of here real quick. Alright, this thing won't budge, especially around here. So we're going to take off this front panel and hopefully that'll clear the area. 1, 2 T10 screws. Plus little plastic parts. Alright. Ooh, you can also see the dust in there. Ooh. Just like the other one, it's kind of bad. Also plastic parts here to take this part off. Ooh, little plastic bits here. Alright, we got the board there. Also got this little bit. I think the little things went in like that. And helped to magnify the little... Okay, everything goes in that way. Gotcha. So I think these help project little outputs there onto this little display thing here. And I do have a little flashlight that can help show us what each little thing means. These are just little dots here. Plus that thing I believe is for the IR sensor. Yep, right there. Fixed, native, hybrid, 480i, 480p, 720p, 1080i, 1080p. Alright, those are little things there. And while we're at it, alright. Ew, that thing is disgusting. That'll definitely have to be cleaned. Although I don't see any confidential marking on this PCB. Oh, wait. So the plastic bits here. Take these things off. Hmm. More you find every time you look. Little button there for the format button. Okay. Now we should be able to take this out. Oh, I see what's going on. They're these little button things. Although, now, since there's a little area here, we can just push it down, and it should come out now. So we were just trying to push it the wrong way. Alright, there we go. And there's some dust under there. We'll have to wipe that clean. I'll stop it right there. Alright, and the board. This thing is also dusty. I'm gonna clean everything just like before. I love messing around with things. Okay. The main chip is under here, hiding underneath this heatsink. We've got a little connector here for this board. These slots remind me of the PCMCIA cards on older laptops, since I have used one of those before. We've got a little 14-pin power connector here. CR2032 battery. 2 SATA data cables. A thing for our fan, I believe. Although, no, the fan goes right here. I'm not sure what that's for, unless it's somewhere on the board. Nothing came with that. That could be for another fan, maybe. Even though there aren't any markings for it. Wait a minute. No, this is a serial port. So, if I want to do a little bit of debugging, that could be helpful. Behind these two RF shields, I believe, is for all the components for these cable connectors. I'm gonna go ahead and open those up. Alright. We can easily take off the shields as so. Push that down a little bit. You can see the difference in dust from inside here to the outside. Cool. And then you can see little ports there. Okay. And lastly, the power supply, which takes T10 screws as usual. And a T9 screw right here. There we go. More soldered cables. That's pretty much it. And here's the back of the board. There we go. You can also blow this away. Alright, a lot more parts, but this is pretty much it. It doesn't seem to be coming off. I mean, it doesn't really affect anything, because this all still works. Whatever. Everything's been cleaned, so it's time to put all this back together. Got to clean this off. Alright, that is all done. Both of these have been assembled. Now, of course, we have to test it out and make sure it still works. Alright, so we've got the same setup as before. We've got the Series 2 going to that small TV with composite output, and the Series 3 HD going to that big TV right there. Just like the boot race. We still see Series 3 going up. And of course, as usual, it gives us the first screen. Now before, it showed this in letterbox mode, but recording the 3 console component output cable short, I had to change that because the Xbox would only transmit in letterbox mode, so I had to change some settings on the TV. Oh, it's a bit of a flaky cable, isn't it? Okay, that is entirely the cable, although I'm pretty sure I do have everything pushed all the way in, so I'm not sure what the problem for that is. But at least it's still working. Let me get that thing out of the way. One thing I did realize is that compared to this shade right there, this one seems a little bit dimmed out until it shows us the TiVo logo, and then the color is brought out more a little bit. And we'll see that in a moment here. Yeah, there's more color that just came out. It's probably doing some stuff with the HDMI output there. As you can see, there's that light in the Series 2 right there. So there might be a couple settings that we need to change here, but it all looks good. It's pretty much outputting the same thing here. So yeah. Grab the remote out here. Alright, it's almost ready for both of them. Alright. Oh, that's right. The sound bar isn't turned on. Alright, so both do work. That does look a lot better in widescreen. Alright, let's look at the system. Cool. Alright, and then hybrid. I did realize that the setting for 1080p isn't an option here. So, that's cool. There's nothing recorded on the Series 3 HD. However, we still have stuff. Shut up. So that's awesome. Alright. So at least we know those two still work. That's cool. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know I did. One thing I am kind of bummed out about is that I can't put Linux on here, because the tools to read the hard drives here are kind of broken and I can't access the files on here, let alone write to it. Now, unless I had like a PC that supports IDE connections that can read HDA in Linux instead of SDA when using an adapter, that'd be cool. Also, I would have to deal with the signed bootloaders that are present on the Series 3 HD. So if anyone has any tools that work, let me know in the comments and I will make a video about that. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for future device disassembly videos. I gotta figure out what I want to take apart next. And I'll see you later. Peace out.